welcome back. Jade! Hey guys! What's up? Welcome to the channel. Yeah. And Gio! He's our special guest. He's the reason we know each other in the first place, so it's only right, we bring Gio on the channel.
The Godfather.
Yeah. So far, we've just been doing Love Island reviews for season 7, USA.
And I've been watching it, and I had to tell them that we got to switch it up.
We gotta switch it up a little bit.
We gotta add a little spice, a little seasoning.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sprinkle. Something impactful. Okay.
I was thinking we could maybe talk about a couple cancel culture things, a couple people within that culture, how they affected us, how they affected the community, how they affected the culture, and if they deserve that cancellation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Y'all, I'm starving, so I'm eating panda.
Oh yeah, this is real, y'all.
Got a little mukbang going.
Little mukbang.
Hang out with us for a second. We're gonna start with you, Lissa.
Okay.
Since she was the first one who was removed from the show due to racial slurs resurfacing. And they really weren't even hidden, to be honest with you. She didn't even try to tuck this away. It was very bold.
Mm-hmm.
She did use the N-word several times, very blatantly, in a podcast. I don't know if it was her podcast or what, but you can go and look this up. This is on TikTok. She used it at least, 3-4 times? Hard too.
Repeat offender.
But I didn't like it. So she's not Afro-Latina. She's Latina. I don't know what her full ethnicity is, but I don't believe she has any African in her. So I just don't think it's appropriate that she be using that, even if it's not in a derogatory way. And how am I to know that, frankly? When you don't come from the culture, you're using it. But she was kicked out immediately.
But episode 2, I think
it was episode 2.
More than time, and she was just out the villa. We're like,
it was 2 or 3. Lissa has left the villa, and we never saw her from her again.
Wow. Just to give context, I'm not up to date on the Love Island. I know just as much as a kid watching TikTok. I don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Drama infused. So, wouldn't y'all take the reins on this one?
Yes. Well, what do you guys think about that? Like, people who are non-black using the N-word if they're saying it in a non-derogatory way. Like, oh, what's up,
I feel like it's a slippery slope. I feel like it's a slippery slope because if they get comfortable using it in general, even if it's positive, one day they might get mad and just be like, you know what? Bleep, 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 bleep. He's like, wait a minute. Got this in my back pocket. Like, wait a minute.
I like to call you this.
Right.
I think it's like it's a case by case situation, because I've had homies that say it that shouldn't be saying it, and I've had homies that we were raised on the same block, on the same street, in the same environment together, and he happens to be Latino. And when we're talking together, and and he uses it, it doesn't really bother me because he's a brother to me. We go way back, so it's just that's where I come from. But I feel like it's very case by case. It's like you can tell when someone says it, their meaning behind it. They don't even have to explain. You can tell by the demeanor and how they say it, their body language, and everything else just kind of automatically gives off.
Right. If they're meaning for it to be like hurtful. Right.
And you know what? That makes me think of something too, because I do think environment does have a lot to do with it. There's some people who are not black, they're raised around all black people. They hear certain words and terminology used all the time, and it's natural to them. But also, I think it's interesting, all the people who are usually canceled for this kind of stuff, they don't ever use these terms in front of black people. They don't ever use these toward black people, right? And they're like, oh, I don't mean it that way. Well, then say it to me. Say it to my face. So because Lissa and plenty of people, I think, who have come out and saying that, like, oh, we uncovered a video.
Yeah.
They never said it on the show. Never said it to their friends in public. They know when to use it because they know it's inappropriate. Lissa, she used it so much on the podcast, which makes me think like, oh my God, like that was very intentional. But I think she intentionally did not use it on that show because she knew she couldn't.
That's the thing, when you pick and choose like that, it's like, okay, so you know that you're not comfortable saying that in just a regular setting. Going off of what you said, like you grew up with people that say it and it's like part of their norm versus somebody that only says it in certain situations.
Right. Like, there's not a black person inside. Like, as long as nobody's there, we say it around each other, which is just weird as well. I'm like, what does it mean to you?
I'd say it's kind of being like, being black until it's time to be black. that. In layman's terms, you know what I mean? Like you use it to their benefit or to help exaggerate a story, situation, whatever the case may be.
I think she's probably since apologized, y'all. Actually, I know she said something.
Did she?
I feel like she has to.
She needs to.
She has to.
She's still using it. You know, Melissa's
Yeah.
still using it. Kiara, she said,
It's a word that has to do with your eyes and defensive to the Asian community.
and you know the word, but we ain't even gonna say the word.
But the thing, I will say this about that. I never use it. It's not part of my vocabulary, really, at all. But, like, I didn't even know it was a bad word. It used to be in, like...
I do find it very interesting that us being African Americans are finding ourselves in the same situation as Caucasian people were about 50 years ago, or you know, where they're like, is even saying black okay? And then now we're like, well, back in the day, even saying gay was very normalized. I just find it very interesting how it's kind of like almost coming full circle, you know what I mean? But
I feel like it has to do with the origin of the word too. Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't really know the origin of that word, but...
Like spick and span. Spick is derogatory to Spanish people, and then span, Spanish. So you want to be...
Wow!
If you want to be clean, I want to be to the standard of Mexican clean. I could be wrong, but I know that spick and span is derogatory.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
In the early 2010s, we used to always use that, you know, hey, I want this room to be spick and span.
That is derogatory.
Exactly. So it's a perfect example of words that we used to always use in our vocabulary that had no ill intent. It was just casual how we're talking.
We said that in school.
Yeah, exactly. And then now it's just like, holy crap, that's terrible.
That was here. So yeah, she issued an apology. She is trying so hard not to be canceled. I feel bad for the girl at this point. She's trying so hard not to be canceled. And I think the apology does have to be as loud as the disrespect was. And you have to acknowledge and take accountability for where you were wrong and just be honest about it. If you were ignorant to something, you were ignorant to something. You did not know. And I guess in a way, because even some of us on the couch were unfamiliar with the term, I can see how she could be unfamiliar, but it's still not right. I'm not absolving it. I couldn't. And not even being of, Asian descent, I couldn't absolve her from it. Right. JoJo Siwa. I don't laugh so much. I'm gonna be real, guys. I am not too familiar with Miss Siwa. I know she's a young artist. She's very abstract.
I feel like she was a child star, and then she tried to go into adulthood. The transition just wasn't as clean because everyone just still seen her as JoJo. Like, y'all remember when Miley Cyrus branched out and actually was her own woman instead of being linked to Hannah Montana, and everyone thought she was crazy for riding on a wrecking ball naked?
Yeah, they hated her.
They're giving the same trash to JoJo Siwa because she's actually being different than how she was pathed to be for so long.
But she was on Dance Moms, that's what it was. And so she started out as like this little girl, this little dancing show, you know what I'm saying? So everyone's used to this little sweet girl, and then for her to come out and just be doing whatever she does on TikTok, it's like, wait, what's going on? What you doing? You know?
Right. These are actors.
It's hard when you grow up in front of the spotlight like that.
There was a whole little beef between the baby and JoJo Siwa because the baby dropped a song and happened to say JoJo Siwa. You JoJo Siwa. And everyone thought it was a diss towards JoJo Siwa. And the baby's like, I don't even care about it. It just sounded good on the song.
The baby seemed to think it was all pretty funny. He took to Twitter to explain that the line wasn't meant to be a diss, but was simply a play on words, and that his 3-year-old daughter is actually a huge fan. Quote, she thinks she you. Don't let him trick you into thinking I'd ever have a problem with you. My wordplay just went over their heads. All love on my end, shorty. Keep shining.
Back then, the baby was on top, so having that controversy blew JoJo Siwa up, which also blew up her being so extra. I'd say, being so outgoing with her personality that just kind of made it blow up even bigger.
For me, all I had really saw on social media on my TikTok page were just kind of like these videos of her doing like TikTok trends. But she would just do it so aggressive that everyone in the comments was like, what's going on? So I didn't know there was much deeper, but I also saw that it had something to do with, I guess, her sexual orientation, and she said she was one thing, then she was another.
Do a little change of course here. Throw a brother in here. R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
So,
Roberts.
so
Oh,
ignition, okay? I'm a flirt, all right? All right, we're talking about primetime R&B. Isley Brothers wrote half of Isley Brothers songs. R. Kelly, okay? Now, I love me some R. Kelly, okay? Let me just get this out right, okay? If he dropped an album on Still Behind Bars, you best believe I'm pre-downloading it on the Apple
Not pre-download.
Okay?
Yeah.
I know what he did. I understand that, you know? But
Sometimes you gotta separate the artist from the music.
you know
I think that's what it is. 'Cause, you know?
I feel like Riley Freeman in this situation. Why do I gotta wait on the next R. Kelly album just for that?
And why should I have to miss out on the next R. Kelly album just for that?
I grew up listening to that man. When I listen to those songs, I don't think of the people he was thinking of. I think of who I want to think about. And that's what you need to do.
What he did wasn't wrong. Yes. Okay.
Very wrong.
110% was wrong. Okay. And the way he tried to cover it up or tried to make an explanation for it was also very no good. No bueno. Okay. And I'm not saying that his music excuses what he did. What I am saying though is that he did write for like legitimately like 70% of R&B artists back in the 90s. He was a huge influence, and I'm not saying that he didn't deserve to be canceled because you'd have to be held accountable for something like that. It was at the end of the day, you know, sexual assault, sexual harassment is very serious. That's not anything that you can take lightly. It doesn't matter how great a music is, how great your career is, how much of an impact you've had on this community. But I do believe that there is some notion to be said about splitting the person from the artist. I do believe those are two different things. I feel like that's the same thing as always targeting Tony Stark, the guy that plays Robert Downey Jr. as always Iron Man, you know? And you don't separate the actor from Iron Man. You know, those are two completely different people. Now, is he the same kind of cocky person without the armor on? Yeah, he is. But those are two completely different people. So I would like to say that that's the same in the music career as well. Like, that could be said with a whole bunch of different artists.
Oh yeah.
The person can be trash. They just so happen to have a good voice and have
Makes
an
up
ear
their
for music. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You're right.
you know.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, like there's many people that are just, you know, James Brown, amazing artist, great for the culture. Flew to Vietnam to help put morale in our black troops. Great. Also was heavily into drugs, LSD, even though he always promoted not doing drugs, and was very abusive
Do
to.
what I say, not what I do.
Exactly,
Damn.
very abusive to his partners. Their music was so influential. It's like you
Right.
can't cut them a break, but you can appreciate just the
Alright.
music. You know what I mean?
Frankly, if we canceled every musician, artist, director, producer, anyone in entertainment, any owner,
We will not be entertained.
we would not be entertained.
Yeah.
You would have no music, no TV.
No, a lot of people gonna take this the wrong way, but nobody is perfect, and that is not an excuse to be hitting people or
Right.
anything like that. But just because they're on this pedestal doesn't mean that they're
in the
going to
spotlight.
do everything perfect to a T, and they're, you know, like they're going to mess up. Some way more than others.
I guess these people who have been canceled, who have come out
Yeah.
when they made a mistake, as we all do, what do they do?
And
You
there's
don't like the apology, you don't like the non-apology, you don't like them to keep
What do you
doing
want
their
from
job,
me?
you don't like them to what do they do?
and there's a lot of celebrities that aren't on this list who have been canceled or tried to cancel, and they did nothing. And it actually saved their career. A couple examples, mr.beast, in shortened terms, he had a colleague of his who was like part of the OG mr.beast crew. I forgot the name, so you guys know what I'm talking about. That person had transitioned to a woman, and then it came out later on that he was talking to minors, or she was talking to minors, and was sending like hentai,
What?
basically CP between people that were underage.
Oh.
And Mr. Beast decided to just be completely quiet. He released a short statement saying that he was doing his own personal investigation on it, and kept completely quiet, and honestly saved his brand.
That's not on him to acknowledge though. It's not him that.
at the same time though,
That's his employee.
that name's roped with the brand. You know, like
It was his employee.
yeah, it's like one of the Migos brothers doing something crazy like that. It's like,
Now
well,
the
the
Migos
Migos don't have to
in
accept that, but the Migos are roped into that brand.
Right,
you know,
right.
so it's like
Right.
it's similar to that. David Dobrik, that's another one. Crazy stuff happened, and he just kind of stayed mute, didn't say a word about it. And there's still people that hate him for it, but since he didn't say anything about it, the large mass of his followers and population didn't know about it. If you don't speak about it, no one's gonna know. They might
Unless
hear
it's a
rumors.
huge.
Yeah.
It's like you have to say something.
Yeah, but it's some other people, they feel like they have to defend themselves, that they'll come out and say something, and then they screw themselves more because half the people didn't even know what they were talking about. And now they know, oh,
Right.
he did this? You know what I
Thanks
mean?
for letting me know. Unfollow.
Like, sometimes just being quiet because of how the attention span is of our generation nowadays. In a week, someone else will blow up about something else and you're in the clear. You know what I mean? Like,
Perfect plan.
it's like literally how it goes.
Target's not really a person, but in the meantime, while you look that up, Target.
Yeah,
Watch
Target.
this. I'm gonna find it.
I'm so sad. I really like Target. You know, I have the very specific brand of floss I get from Target. I've had to buy it off Amazon, which is no better.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know why Target is so popular amongst.
Because they got so many things that we didn't know we need because we don't need it. But it looks good.
Because we don't need it.
This guy, Joey Swole.
I don't know who that man is.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
Joey
His
Swole.
name is Joey Swole.
Under the colored athletes.
That's what he said.
This is I post a woman if I want to.
Now he's trying to defend himself
I
and
mean,
saying that he didn't know he wasn't supposed to say color.
this color fact though, like, it's,
When have you ever heard anyone say it?
The only time people say it is like in old movies
Colors.
that has to do with.
I mean,
Color,
so like
yeah.
the colored fountains and all that stuff, but I don't know, like,
Black, say minority.
It makes
but
me
what
like, why
makes-
not just say black?
but I think it would sound, I mean, to me, if you say colored, but if you said, you should ask the blacks.
No,
No, he said ask the colors.
just say black people. Ask black
Minorities. Ask the minorities.
or minority.
Or people of color.
Yeah, people
but
of
you just
color,
said the colors.
Well, even if you say whites, it sounds like
Whites.
why are
Yeah.
you saying it like that? Like,
Blacks.
Okay, but say, I feel like colored athletes is good, but having to say
Colored
the athletes of colored people is
the
doing
athletes of color.
Color.
That's okay.
I'm
I feel like
The colors, it sounds like
I'm cool with black and brown. I'm cool with minority. I'm cool with black. The blacks. I will say though, when all white people say the blacks,
it's like,
Oh,
it's
it's
like,
from
what
the
do you
soul.
mean by that?
It's from
too
the
much.
soul.
it's from the spirit, bro.
Right, it's like the intention behind it. It's like you white someone's recipe.
I feel like that used to happen in history class all the time.
Everyone just
growing
looks at you and then black people.
up. Right. It's like
Don't look
the
at me.
blacks were
They're like,
the blacks weren't included in this.
well, let's talk about Kanye West. Can we?
Oh yes.
Because I can't even, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been keeping up with that man because he just does so much. I can't
I
focus.
had to.
Look at your face!
I had to disown him with love because I love him. I had to stop. I had to stop looking at what he was doing because I had to just stop looking.
Next on the cancel list, we got Gio Allen. Yes. We don't really have to rehash what Kanye has done.
He's done a lot.
Continuing to do.
All I can remember is that TMZ crashed out. And like ever since then I've been
You know,
He said.
it damn near started when he was doing what was it, Hurricane Katrina? They had all the celebrities and they were talking about trying to rope in more donations and everything like that. And they had Mike Myers, they had Kanye West there, and I don't know the whole context, but out of the blue, Kanye West just said Bush did 9/11. There was no lead up to it. There was no entry ramp onto the freeway. He just
And then he said he don't like black people.
I remember
Yeah.
that part.
The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Please call. In the past few days,
we all have initial thoughts that we have to control.
Hates blasphemy did not.
I feel like Kanye just doesn't have like the gate that holds
There's no
back
filter.
our like initial thoughts. I don't think Kanye has that.
Poor
And if it is, that shit broke. And I have to amend him for it because he just does not care.
What I will say about Kanye is half the time he does make me laugh because it's so crazy, but he does.
Yeah.
Half the time he makes me laugh. Half the time I'm like, why are you doing this? Maybe he just needs medical attention. I don't know.
For like the Galaxy gas, he actually has like a supplier for it, so he's constantly on it.
I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that.
It's the, when you take it and it makes like your voice like really deep.
The whippets?
Oh.
Yeah, whippets.
Jesus, Kanye, I didn't know you was doing that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we don't judge, my bad.
You get to a point where you just feel like you're on top of the world and you can say anything you want without anything happening to you. And crazy thing is, he said whatever he wants. Stuff has happened to him. Hasn't made a dent in his money. He's still. He was just in South Korea doing a show. Like he don't give a damn.
The devil is his keeper now. What? And I love Kanye, and I want him to come back to Jesus. The devil is in the Lord on his shoulder at all times, and he be constantly letting the devil use him. I don't know why, but he be letting.
That's a perfect segue into what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
How do y'all feel about people being canceled that are already gone?
Oh,
Like
that died
they
already?
re-dig up their history, like
Did you know that you did this?
Michael Jackson, Disney, Walt Disney.
You know what?
Those people, will they re-dig up their past?
I'll let you go
and
first
they
because I have some interesting thoughts.
Yes, absolutely.
I say let him rest. We can acknowledge what he did, but there's no reason to blow it up and then try to fix it when he's already gone.
I'm all about letting people rest in peace, but it really does depend on what you did. Emmett Till. For some reason, he always comes to mind when I think about like retribution and justice and vindication.
And that lady on her deathbed.
Yes, and like, I'm mad right now! If the murderers were never uncovered, yes, absolutely. I don't care if it's 3,000 years down the line, I would want them dug up. I want them bones cremated! I don't know, but maybe cremate the bones! Cremate the bones! I want to like smash on the bones, like smash.
You like that elephant? You remember that elephant where that lady did something to an elephant. She died. The elephant came to her funeral and stomped on her grave.
He stomped her up, came to her funeral, took her out of the casket, I heard. And kicked her back. Me and the whole family was devastated.
I don't think elephants can drop kick, first of all.
According to some sources, it was said that the woman helped some hunters attack the elephant's child. A few days later, the woman went back to the village and everyone moved on with their lives. Except the elephant. It was on the 10th of June when Maya went to the well to fetch water. When out of nowhere, the elephant attacked. Some sources claim that there were other people at the well, but the elephant went directly for Maya. And just in the middle of the funeral, according to how the story goes, the elephant showed up in the village, scattering everything from the outside, destroyed the woman's farm, killed the woman's goats, and then broke into the funeral room and went straight for the woman's dead body and began to trample on it again.
If someone is still looking for justice, then okay. But if it's such a cold case that everyone around that case is already gone or passed on, what's the point, besides adding to the history books?
Right. If it's murder, that's the only thing, because I'm a cold case fanatic.
Yeah.
I need all cold cases uncovered now.
So here's my take, right? Because ever since I was born, my favorite thing to say was that's not fair. Like I was always about things being just, right? And I've had to come to the realization with age that the world is just not fair. And it's not technically on us to make it fair. As much as we try and as much as we like wholeheartedly want to, right? Like if somebody comes and does something to like a family member, of course, in my head I want to defend them or I want to go get that. Like it's kind of like, I feel like it's almost kind of ingrained in us to try to get that justice. But at the end of the day, when I don't feel like it's on us to seek that justice. It's easier said than done, though, of course. As far as people that have already passed, Michael Jackson, for example, I have a whole different take on that because I'm one of those conspiracy theorists. I be watching all kind of crazy videos in the middle of the night and TikTok just keeps showing me crazy things. So
He didn't do it.
no,
Okay.
my conspiracy theories get into like Illuminati and all that crazy stuff. So I'm just like, oh, for me, they canceled for a whole other reasons,
Yeah.
But my canceling of like, for example, Michael Jackson, I love some of his music. Okay, it's hard. It's hard. I've had to separate it because otherwise I feel guilty. I don't want to feel guilty listening to his music, knowing that maybe some of these songs were hand-delivered to him by fucking demons. I don't know. That's what TikTok be telling me. We're not gonna get into it.
Michael Jackson would sleep sometimes 3 and 4 days at a time because he was trying to get hit songs. He even said one time that he couldn't go to sleep. He said a spirit told him that if he did not get to sleep to get this song, the spirit is going to give it to Prince.
Liam Neeson. I feel like I'm the only one who gives a damn.
No, I didn't know.
I don't know anything.
Long story short, Liam Neeson went on some kind of weird rampage because someone in his family, I don't know exactly what the relation was, somebody was by a black man. So, according to BBC, he said some strange derogatory things, and he went on this escapade of trying to find any random black man to kill, to get vindication for the family member that was by a black man. He says, I went up and down areas with Akash, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black would come out of the pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could kill him.
After like
There's layers.
The second, third day, had some food in my stomach, had a couple drinks, I'll get over it. But a week, going up and down the block, he's an amazing actor. Because like, if you were to explain that to me, I would think that you're just explaining the script of Tekken 5. Like, I'm Tekken 5, I wouldn't even know. Like,
For fun! He did it for free!
no one said
For
cut.
free.
Yeah, there was no action, no cut. It was just raw.
Take him back to his head. How does that make y'all feel? He went searching for
It makes me feel
any
scared.
black man.
That is a good point that you say that, because you know sometimes actors get so enroped in their role that they almost it engulfs them. So you think about the people that played Joker. I know like Heath Ledger, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That it didn't that almost drove him mad. Like what was it
It
him that
did.
locked himself in a
He killed
hotel
himself.
room for like a month in a hotel room just so he could develop into the Joker, and it ended up killing him. So not to say that happened to Liam Neeson, but just, you know, from what Jay read, that sounds like a Liam Neeson role that he would take on. So that is also something to think about, that maybe, like, not that he snapped, but it was so easy for him to just fall back into the mini roles that he has played for decades.
For one, he's really not canceled. His career is doing better than ever.
Just
A
got
lot
a
of
movie.
people don't even know about this, that he literally confessed trying to kill any random black man to absolve the that some other random black man allegedly did to a family member. He didn't want justice, because justice would have been to get the man that did it. You just wanted to hurt a black person because you blamed all black people, and that's kind of a racist problem. All the people in our ancestry have been murdered by white people. I don't go around trying to kill white people to make myself feel better about it and get some kind of redemption out of it. But he, I guess, apologized, wasn't canceled. I still love Liam Neeson movies and I still watch them. So, I don't know, I feel like everybody picks and chooses.
She straight up said, "Burn in hell!" Alright, y'all trying to go see the new movie? Just in that. As she's looking up AMC ticket prices. I'm like, yeah.
Now,
But
am I gonna go see
Now-
Naked Gun? Yeah.
now what Jay said is 110% true, but I, even being a person of color, being an African American, I always like to put myself in their shoes. When someone's like, you know, attack somebody that you love, and especially being a man, you have a obligation to protect and provide for that person, and you failed that job, that's gonna drive you into a state of rage, and that state of rage can make you blind to the fact, almost like when you're blinded by love, when you're blinded by rage, you're gonna do things that are gonna be unorthodox, that is not ordinary to what you would actually do in a clean state of mind. Am I trying to excuse what Liam said and did? Not exactly, but I do want to amend him for just taking full responsibility for it.
You didn't have to tell anybody that.
Yeah, I mean, or he could have just softened the blow. Oh yeah, I was looking, you know, and blah blah blah. But I would never do that to someone. That, he was like, nope. I was out looking, and it was a person, and they were, if they were darker than me, they were getting it. And honestly, I can amend him for it, because I could see myself being in a similar shoes if I was in that.
I'm glad he didn't go through with it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if that was completely him. If I recall, he was waiting for somebody to approach him so he could take it out.
Yeah.
And nobody approached him. And one person be like, hey man, good morning. Like,
So
it might have been up for them, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, oh.
He's like, good morning. Like, that's like, what? Like,
I just
that's it.